another language. Duolingo!
Look no feather. I'm going to show you how to use Duolingo for schools. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese to high schoolers, and I teach English as an additional language to adults in the community. Today I'm going to show you some other ways to use Duolingo, such as Duolingo podcasts. Now, first of all, podcasts at the moment are only available in Spanish and French. So right up here in Spanish or French, you're going to see the More button and scroll down to podcast. And that takes you to a list of everything. And what I love the most is that click on one of those descriptions and you actually get the transcript. This is absolutely great to give your students that support that they need. Let's head over to YouTube and I'll show you something even better. All right, at the Duolingo YouTube site, scroll down till you get to the podcast, and the Spanish podcasts all have videos where the words appear on screen. So the students can listen and see the words at the very same time in a kind of animated type of video. It's just the words appearing on screen. This hasn't happened to French yet, but this is a great support for your Spanish learners. Now you can, of course, create a list of comprehension questions to ask your students. You could do this in the target language. You could do this in English. However you want to set things up. You can use all your Harvard Project Zero thinking routines, See, Think, Wonder being one of the go-tos. My very favorite comprehension question to ask, though, is what would you ask the protagonist? And I have my students do this in the target language. I love how Duolingo considers what the subject of the podcast is about to be a protagonist. And so as they're developing their storytelling, they're always framing the person that they're interviewing as a protagonist. So I like this because I think it gets the students to just demonstrate to me that they heard the podcast and they thought about it deeply, and they're taking it to that next level. Another thing you can do with podcasts is I got this really nice protocol from Reimagine Washington in one of my hundreds of millions of classes that I'm taking during this coronavirus adventure. This was a very good protocol, and I'll scroll through it just to show you how long it is, but now I'm going to chop it up and show you the little different pieces. Okay, so here we go. I've zoomed in on the first part. How do we read a podcast episode? I'll probably let you pause and look at this, but this is just a protocol of before I listen, what should I do? While I'm listening, what should I do? When I push pause. So yeah, tell your students they can use the pause button. That's fine. I think a lot of them think that they have to listen to it all the way through without doing anything. And of course, remind them that they can rewind and listen again and again and again. When I was a professional translator, oh my gosh, I would have to stop and rewind all the darn time. Tell them that's okay. And then underneath that, there were ideas worth saving, a little arrow going up there. Link, light, log. So this was link, the clearest connection in thinking is. Light, a new idea I now have is. And log, a heavy question I have to think more about is. This was just another thinking routine. You can insert whichever one you want. You can do any Project Zero stuff is good. Any other thinking routine that you like, go ahead and insert it there. And then, of course, having them document their questions. Thinking on paper. Remember that handwriting helps you think more deeply. Handwriting helps your memory. So definitely encourage them to get their thoughts down on paper. And those are just some ideas that you can do with Duolingo podcasts. Fingers crossed that they bring podcasts to more languages coming up. Right now, it's just French and Spanish. Please go to the Duolingo Educators Forum and add your ideas for how you use podcasts in teaching. Post your questions about pedagogy and how to use Duolingo for schools. Right here, click on that discuss button that we looked at. Make sure you're in the Educators forum on the right-hand side. Post your questions, and I or some other very helpful person will answer them for you. And then I also want to make a plug for the Duolingo Educators Network. Once you click here in the Educators forum, you'll see the sticky, what is the Educator Network? This is honestly the best professional learning community that I belong to. So click there, join up, and I hope to see you there. Thank you very much.
Duolingo. It's the best way for you to learn another language.